Hello everyone, welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here. We are going to dive right into your reading. It's going to be a bright and colorful reading today. Almost very guided toward very bright cards. All right, let's see. What messages do you have for Pisces, please, Spirit? For my Pisces, what messages do you have for Pisces? For Pisces, please, Spirit. What is important for Pisces to know right now? Okay. You have this card that wants us to look at it. Blessed. Beautiful energy. And then you have community. You have thinker and not for you. Okay. And then you have leg up and regeneration. This is really interesting. Pisces, I'm feeling a couple different scenarios here. It's a general reading. This happens a lot. I feel there's an energy of something that didn't work out that is hard to let go of mentally. And, this is frustrating, when someone leaves the door open a little bit, or it doesn't feel like it's over, or it felt like it had so much potential. How is it possible that we just let this go without exploring it? It's like something doesn't quite make sense. And they have done like studies on this where, that feeling where you leave your house and you can't remember if you closed your garage door, you can't remember if you locked your front door, if you can't remember if you left your curling iron plugged in or your stove on, where you have that feeling of something that's left undone or something that you're just, and your mind keeps coming back to it and it drives you crazy and you're like, do I go back and check it? Do I keep going on my way? Da, 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 da. Well, these are things that are left open-ended, and our mind doesn't like things like that. Our mind likes things to be very neat and tidy. They like things to be, all accounted for, and it feels a bit like there's this chessboard here with this fortune cookie, and I've gotten this card so many times, but this is the first time it's coming through in this way. This is when you really got to trust the universe or the divine or whomever, whatever it is for you, right? Because sometimes what is waiting for us in the future, or what is really meant for us, is so much sweeter, so much bigger, so much better, so much more than what we can imagine based on what we're looking at. So like, it's kind of giving me this vibe of like, you meet someone, they're the best someone that you've met. You really think this might be your someone because it's better than other things. There are things that you maybe just can't explain about it. Just a feeling that you have, or a compatibility that you feel, or an ease of being. All these things. It's like they're the best of the people that you've met. This is what I keep getting. It's giving me like these chess pieces are like the material world, like what I'm seeing, what's in front of me. So I'm basing my decision and I'm basing my choices on what I can see, what I know, what I've experienced. And this fortune cookie, it doesn't belong there. It's not part of the game, right? And it may even be something that we can't even imagine, or that we couldn't even count on or think of, or it's just, we're not expecting a fortune cookie to drop in the middle of our chess game, but yet sometimes it happens. Sometimes it does. It's sitting there right there, for you to see. And so it's giving me this vibe of something it's like I'm trying to make sense of it. I'm trying to make sense of it. I'm trying to make sense of it. I'm working it forward. I'm working it backward. I'm trying to figure out why I got the response I got, or why things worked out or didn't work out the way that they did. You know, I just can't understand it, or I'm just trying to get myself to a place of peace with it. And it's almost kind of giving me like, sometimes you don't come to a place of peace with something until you're able to put it in perspective, until you have something different to look at, to say, oh, wow, that's why that happened. Do you know what I mean? Or that's why that didn't happen, or it didn't work out. And it feels like the universe knows that this thing is coming for you, or that, you know, there is something in the future, or something even, it doesn't even have to be like, oh, there's a better person, but it's like your life, as much as you think it's going to go a certain way, maybe it's not. Maybe maybe you discover something, or it's like, it's hard for me to say here. It's giving me a lot of like, kind of like speculative energy, but it's kind of like you couldn't speculate this. And it's positive. It's not like, oh man, and then, you know, everything goes bad for you. No, this is like, sometimes what we need in one moment, or what we think we want in one moment, isn't, we evolve and we change, and our circumstances in life evolve and change. And so what we end up needing, or what we end up wanting, is really different from one point to a different point. And this fortune cookie feels like it could be that, like you're just going to have a lot of life changes, that where this relationship would no longer be compatible with that. Or based on your human experience and the people that you've played with, the people that you've been involved with, sure, this person is the best of what you've met yet, but it's not the best of the best. You know what I mean? It's not what you deserve. You deserve something bigger, sweeter, you know? And so it's kind of like, no matter how much you think on it, it's not going to make sense. And it sort of feels to me like this energy of, sometimes peace and acceptance comes from, it's never really going to make sense to me. And I'm coming to peace and acceptance with that. I may never understand this. I just have to accept that there is a part of my heart that holds space for this person. And I may never understand why it's my heart holding space for this person and not, you know, the seat next to me. But I accept it. I know that there must be a reason, a purpose. I believe that. And then, you know, something happens. See how you have this leg up in this regeneration? This leg up, even it's like the color and the shape of it remind me of the fortune cookie. And it's kind of giving me like, this is where something changes. This is where this comes in, the thing you can't imagine, or the thing you weren't expecting, or the thing that really changes your life. The fortune cookie, the shape of it, where it's like life makes a 180, or, you know, it like folds back on itself, or it's giving me something where there's like a dramatic change. It's not necessarily revisiting the past or something, but it's like we're heading in a direction, and then there's a dramatic change. And it feels like a level up. It feels like there is some help from the universe that comes in and, you know, kind of directs the energy flow. The regeneration, this whole, I guess, combined energy with leg up and regeneration, it's giving me a bit of, like, what you need to restore your faith or restore your hope, or, you know, it's like inspiration or a new experience, or it's something that changes the way that you see things. and the way that you think about things, and kind of what you think is possible. You're getting some help with that, and it feels like it's in the material world. Sometimes that can simply be like signs and synchronicities, but sometimes it's like unexpected opportunities, or, you know, things like that. Okay, this fortune cookie shape and now this energy, I hope this is going to make sense, but it's kind of, it's not going backward, but it's sort of attacking something, like attacking the same thing with a different mindset. So anxiety, you have anxiety on the bottom of the deck. Anxiety is an energy where we're getting too far in the future. We're worrying too much, like, what if I never find somebody? What if I find somebody and then that falls apart? What if I, you know, lose my job and get sick and then I have no one to take care of me and I'm all by myself and I can't support myself and da 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 da. Like, these are all, it's anxiety inducing, you know? It's like being afraid of things that, you know, first of all, you can't control, so there's no relief from it, right? And it's sort of pointless, you know? They say like worrying ruins a perfectly good right now. Worrying about something in the future is ruining a perfectly good right now, you know? And right now is where you can actually do something about it. Right now is where you could, you know, get Aflac. Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that, but that's what popped in my head, the Aflac goose. You know, it's like right now is that moment where you could take a precaution, or where you could take a measure, or where you could do something to like help future you in case that did happen. Do you see what I'm saying? Instead of worrying about it, instead of letting this kind of energy sort of take over. And you have this caution energy here, which is, it's like, you know, we do intuitively sort of talk to ourselves sometimes and say, oh, do you really want to go down that path? Oh, you know, this isn't necessarily a good path, you know, or this path isn't going to take you anywhere good, or this doesn't feel good. Like, we don't really want to spend our time here. Or we don't really want to spend our energy on this, you know. But whether we listen or not is another thing, right? But there's like caution tape. It's saying, you know, don't go here. Don't do this. Instead, it's offering you this energy of creativity, which is, you know, manifesting, visualizing, you know, focusing on the future, focusing on you being your highest and best. And, you know, sometimes that does come from things like having insurance. You know what I mean? When a hurricane bears down on Florida, and I know that I have good homeowners insurance, knock on wood, it's not like easy these days. You know, I can sort of rest, and I can sort of, and I have a generator, and I have, you know, food, and I have, you know, I prepare, you know, I've brought everything in from outside. I've dealt with everything that I can deal with. And then I just sort of, whatever comes, I'm like, okay, you know, there's nothing I can do about this. This is just a storm that I have to weather. And I've taken every precaution, and I'm set up in the best possible way. And whatever happens, I'm going to come out of it, and I'm going to, you know, I'm not going to lose power because I have my Generac. I'm not going to lose everything in the storm because I have insurance. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? Like all these things, I have taken everything, and I can't stop the storm from coming, but I can sit in a space of calm and be fully present in the moment. A lot of times, that time when we have hurricanes coming, it's actually ends up being a time where we huddle down with our family, and you know, we spend time together and play board games by candlelight. I mean, if you ask my kids, they remember every major hurricane that they lived through. And, you know, they have specific memories of sleeping in my master bedroom closet and watching Lion King on the laptop until it died. And, you know, as little kids. And, you know, these are times that, you know, even in adversity, it's like you can relax. You can kind of, you know, if you know you have done everything you can do to make yourself safe, there's nothing left to do but just wait until it passes, and to be fully present and to make the most of the moment that you're in and be it to its fullest, you know. Yeah, I remember before we had a generator and we knew we were going to lose power because the storm was going bad, you know, we would take our frozen pizzas out and grill them on the grill, you know, because, you know, we're going to lose them anyway. And it was fun to eat grilled pizza. It's something you don't normally do, you know, and just, I don't know, you know, when you have that kind of peace of mind, you can relax. And we cannot prepare for every single, you know, thing, that adversity that can come. I don't think so. I mean, maybe we can, I don't know, but we can't. I know we can't. But the thing is, if we are making the most of the moment that we're in and we're asking ourselves, what can I do today for tomorrow, instead of sitting in paralyzing fear and anxiety, we can actually make our tomorrows better. Our tomorrow me will thank today me for the precautions that I took, for the decisions that I made, for the things that I did. And I will be in a space where I can dream big things. I can manifest big things because I'm not getting sucked into worry and fear and anxiety. I'm looking at the future, knowing that there will be storms, knowing that there will be obstacles, but knowing too that I've done everything I can to make myself as strong as I can against anything that would try to attack me, and, you know, or you know, any storm that would pass, right? And you know, I'm okay. Whatever nature brings, whatever the future brings, whatever tomorrow brings, it's going to be okay. So what do I want to create? What do I want to do now? And this energy, the more that you do this and the more that you're living in this energy, the more you find that you take on. Like, I sometimes think, I look back on my life and I look back on, you know, just even like 5 or 6 years ago, and what I was able to achieve and accomplish in a day, and how tired I was, and just all these things. And I look at what I can accomplish in a day now, and how many things I'm able to give my focus and my attention to, and how, you know, my curiosity about life and my love of my life and my love of, you know, trying new things. I'm like looking around, I'm like seeing my houseplants, I'm seeing countless books that I've read, I'm seeing paintings that I have just recently completed. I'm sitting here on YouTube on, you know, recording a tarot reading. You know, just like, I find a way to spend so much time toward all these things that I used to say, man, I wish I had time to paint. I wish I had time to do yoga. I wish I had time to learn tarot. I wanted to get good at tarot for years before I did, you know, and, you know, I want to read books. I want to do this. I would say that I want this, but I was never doing it. And now I've just steadily added one thing at a time, and I never give anything up. I just continuously have more time, because I'm not sitting there going, well, gosh, I wish, or, oh man, you know, what if this happens and I haven't done this, or blah, blah, blah. I'm just kind of going with the flow, and I'm trusting. and I'm doing it. And as a result, I have all this more energy and more time and more focus to put toward adding all these things. And the more things I add, like when I'm painting, I'm not sitting there worrying about tomorrow or worrying about something. I'm, you know, I'm in it. I'm in it with the color. I'm in it with the subject. I'm in it. You know, I'm fully present in the moment. And when you're fully present in the moment and you go from fully present thing, it energizes you. It energizes you until you really are just tired. You're really just exhausted. You just really need to go to sleep. But you know, you can do anything you want to do, and you can do as much, you know, as many things as you want to do. You know, I never could keep a house plant alive for years and years and years. I just could not keep a house plant alive. And I really thought that I was jinxed when it came to house plants. I have like hundreds of house plants. I have an entire collection of orchids on my pool deck. They just grow. I don't have to do a whole lot. They just do their thing. They love it out there. And you know, it's just like all these things that I sort of had resigned myself to. Well, I'll never be able to do that. I learned how to crochet. I learned how to do all these things that I would always say like, oh, I'm never going to be able to find time to do that. Or I'm, you know, maybe when I'm like 80, maybe this, maybe that, da, 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 da. And man, just by sheer determination and kind of just scheduling it, making a promise to myself and insisting on keeping the promises that I make to myself, I've added these things and I've done these things and I'm doing these things actively all of the time. And it's a really great feeling. You know, there are still more things that I want to add to my plate, to my list, and I know that I will, because that's all I've done is continue to add things to my plate, and in the best possible way. Not in a, oh man, kind of way, but like in a yes, you know, kind of way. So anyway, I don't know, but that's what this feels like. It feels like exchanging this energy of looking at the future and saying, oh no, oh gosh, oh man, you know, what if this, what if that, shoulda, coulda, woulda, all this stuff. If I would have made a different decision about the major I took in college, or if I would have gone to college, or if I wouldn't have gotten pregnant, or if I wouldn't have gotten in that relationship, or if I hadn't stayed in that relationship, or if I hadn't done this, or if I hadn't done that, you know, all those things happen. We can't do anything about it. And so we got to just have peace and acceptance about that, right? And stop letting that be your narrative. Because those narratives are what prevent you from doing it, from actually doing what you want to do. Because you have this reflection card here, which is like the opposite of this. It's like looking back and going, oh man, you know, if I hadn't done this, if I would have done this differently, if I blah, 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 blah. Like right now is a gorgeous moment to change your life, to change your narrative and to do the things that you want to do instead of thinking about it and talking about it and worrying about it, right? And making excuses or justifying why you haven't already done it. Just do it. I'll say this, like my friends and I will be in this conversation. My friends will say to me, how do you do all the stuff that you do? And, you know, I'm like, I don't know, I just do it, right? And my friends will be like, you know, even if I wanted to take up painting, I couldn't afford it. It's like, man, can you go to the dollar store? Because the dollar store has canvas, the dollar store has paint, the dollar store has paintbrushes. You know, you don't have to start off with like Leonardo da Vinci's paint set. You know what I'm saying? It's like, just start trying and see what happens. Just dive into creativity however you can. I used to save jars and paint, like my jars, like that I got at the grocery store, you know what I mean? And my husband would cut the top off of them and I would etch them and paint them and do all this stuff to them and turn them into candle holders. And, you know, like you can turn trash into treasure. My daughter did a whole entire series of art with recycled material, using nothing but recycled material. So anyway, here you go. You have, see this altered view. This is what we're talking about here. There's a major mind shift happening here, Pisces. And it is changing freaking everything. It is changing everything. The mind shift has something to do with taking your power back, but it also has something to do with, I feel like, making moves. Instead of, like being affected by the things around you, it's like being the effect. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just, it's this kind of energy. You have realized your light and the graduate. So this may have also be energy that you've been working through. Wow. The other day I remember getting this like graduation theme in your reading, like literally seeing like a cap and gown, and wondering if it was metaphorical or literal for some of you. Anyway, you have the graduate here, so there's definitely this, like, you are definitely completing a cycle, and I may be describing to you here in this reading a shift that you've already made, or a shift that you've already begun to make, or something that it's like it feels like going from one place to another. Like, this isn't a it's like an on-off switch. It's like this isn't like standing kind of in the middle in a neutral zone. This is like, I am no longer here, I am now here. I have left that place completely and I'm in a different place. Like, it just totally, and I'm not really going back on it. I'm not, the realize your light, it's giving me like, recognizing and realizing your own power, and realizing like so much of this stuff is in your control. Words are so powerful, and when we are spending quite a bit of our lifetime, the time in our life, not our lifetime, but like in like a 24-hour period, if you're saying over and over again, even to yourself, well, I wish I would have done this, or I should have done that, or what if this happens, or what if I never get the chance at this, or, I'm sure I'm just going to live out the rest of my life the way that it's kind of always been, like, I don't really have the power to change it, or, like all this stuff. And the thing is, this feels like, with the realizing your light, it does feel like taking your power back and really shifting into I want that, I'm going for that, I'm doing that. Which this is like, that's a big difference in, that's going to make a huge difference. That's like one of the biggest difference makers you can have in thought, of going from powerless to powerful, realizing that you are an unlimited creative being, and you can go as far as your imagination and belief and trust and faith takes you, and leaning into that. Anyway, it feels like you have this dating card here. This feels like a kind of a whole life transformation, to be honest with you. And, that has many side effects. And this, it literally says, will likely be dating, like each other, enjoy each other's company, seeing each other. Which feels significant to me. Like, this is like, no, there's somebody really there, and it's really happening. And, it comes from graduating from this way of thinking and feeling, and kind of, it's an energy of feeling really sucked under all the time, to much more of like this powerful, energy. Okay, I don't know. There's a big life shift, I feel like, happening. What can you tell us about this dating energy, please, Spirit? Ooh, I said that, and look, I saw the 10 of Cups and the Queen of Wands. Manifesting love. And this is, she doesn't chase anything. She also doesn't feel, powerless to anything. She's taking control. She's like, this is what I want. In one hand, right? With the wand in one hand, and I'm expecting to receive it over here in the other hand. I know it's already mine in the other hand. Man, this is just like attacking life, like holy wandage. Some of you may be dealing with a fire sign. Some of you may have strong fire in your chart. This just may also be a very fiery energy. This is all about desire and creation. The Page of Wands is naming what you want, claiming what you want, saying this is where I'm headed. There are no excuses. There are no apologies. This is the path I've chosen. I'm doing this. The Seven of Wands is protecting your energy here. She has her solar plexus chakra. Sometimes the world doesn't see you, the world view of you doesn't catch up to you until you're already successful. It's you with you that has to believe that you're getting there and believe that you're doing it way before the rest of the world sees you that way. And that solar plexus chakra is just how we relate to the world. So this is protecting your energy and kind of reminding yourself like who you are and what you're capable of all the time. I'm getting so many like messages here. Joe Dispenza in a lot of his guided meditations talks about breathing in this golden light of the universe and letting it spread through every cell of your body, or even like watching your heart chakra glow into it's spreading through your whole body, into the room, into the whole house, into outside the house, into the community, into the world. So this is what you're putting out in the world. And this brings you into alignment with what you're manifesting through making you that frequency and making your outside world align with that frequency. So it is something that you have to protect. It's like, have you ever watched someone start fire from a flint? It's like this little baby spark that comes off into this like nest of kindling or whatever. I don't even know if you would call it kindling. It's just like dry grass kind of stuff. And then it starts to grow, and they fan it with oxygen, but not too much oxygen because they don't want to put it out. That's this energy. It's like, here's your spark of kindling. It sort of feels like an ace, maybe coming in. And then it's like how you nurture it, how you fuel it, how you feed it. But the Four of Wands, this energy here, this obviously can be a soulmate or deep soul connection coming towards you. This is also, the Four of Wands is where what we have manifested comes into reality, where we actually experience it in the material world. We've brought it down. We have powerfully, brought it from the ethers into reality. So, this is just saying, name it, claim it, own it, see yourself that way. Don't listen to any naysayers. Protect your energy, nurture that spark, and, it's coming into being. Some of you have already taken these steps, I'm getting. Wow. Two of Cups. You have the Nine of Wands with the Page of Cups come, and there's the Queen of Swords. Lovely energy. There are always going to be the swords are thoughts, they're words, they're the kind of the hard part about us with us and nurturing that spark and getting it into a flame, right, is that we have experiences and other people's projections and society's this and that. There's a lot of stuff that rumbles around in our head that isn't really supportive of a dream, isn't really supportive of a spark. And we have our own ego, which has its own voice. But we also have, the times we've tried and failed, or, the critical words of a teacher, a mother, a father, a sibling, a boss, an ex, girlfriend or boyfriend, that, challenge our belief about ourselves, whether we're capable, whether we're good enough, whether we're worthy, whether we're anything, right? And, even when you can block out the physical world and everything that it may say about you or about your dream or whatever, you still have you with you, you know? And and that can be really tough, right? And you know, I read this thing a long time ago that said 90% of what we say to ourselves is mean. Isn't that terrible? Isn't that just awful? But Michael Singer, he'll tell you, you know, you have complete control over that. The one thing you can control are your thoughts. And sometimes part of what we learn pursuing what we dream of and what we desire is how to manage ourselves, how to master ourselves. You know, the Eight of Pentacles energy, where we're putting the work in and we're keeping our head down and we're focused on what's in front of us, and not allowing ourselves to get anxiety about, you know, what comes next, what comes after that, how am I going to take this to that. You know what I mean? I mean, I was over here painting, and I did think sometimes, what am I going to do with all these paintings? Like, you know, how many paintings am I going to just have? Like, this is crazy. And then I had an opportunity, kind of almost like fell into my lap, to sell my paintings. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. I mean, it didn't really fall into my lap. The idea came to me very inspired, but the opportunity to talk to the person I needed to talk to fell into my lap. And then the person, their response was pretty amazing. And you know what I mean? So like, it's a little bit like, don't worry beyond this point. If you feel guided to paint, then paint. You'll figure it out later, you know? Or it will just happen. The way will reveal itself. Just trust it. Just do the thing, you know, just follow the passion. Know that the passion is there for a reason. You have the Page of Wands with the Two of Cups, and it's almost like as soon as you say, this is the direction I'm going, it may be that a significant relationship pops in, or it may be that you will, along that path, along that journey, meet many people, many relationships, develop and forge many relationships that are very healthy and very supportive. You know, when we are in pursuit of our dreams, are we going to meet some bad people? Or like, I hate using words like that, but like, are we gonna meet people that don't have our best intention, our best at heart? You know, yeah, we probably will. But when we're in pursuit of our dreams, we usually meet other people that are in pursuit of their dreams. And a group of people in pursuit of their dreams is a powerful force. You know, I cannot stress that enough. Like when I was getting into photography and I started, you know, finding, like, being asked to photograph different things, and then it was like I just kept meeting more and more people that were in pursuit of their dreams, and we ended up developing, you know, a creative collaborative. And you know, I am still friends to this day, many years later, with some of the first people I met on that path. And that's what this feels like to me. It's like, as you take this path, as you make this declaration, you know, even just to yourself, and you begin to pursue it, you become a powerful force, and you become someone who is almost like manifesting without even consciously manifesting, you know, bringing these opportunities and these people to you. I will also just say this, with the Page of Cups and the Nine of Swords clarifying that Seven of Wands, you know, we talked about our own headspace, but there is a reason why you have this dream, why you have this vision, why you feel that why you have this desire, why you feel the way that you do about what it is that it is, you know, that you're passionate about. There's a reason. And you know, there's something to be learned and something to be discovered on this path that is valuable to you. And I think when you can sometimes keep that piece in mind of, you know, no matter what happens here, what I learn along the way is going to be important to my own soul growth and development, because in my core being, I'm guided to this. I'm drawn to this. I want to do this. And you wouldn't feel that way if it weren't so, if it weren't true, you know? So sometimes when the fear wants to kick in, or the doubt wants to kick in, or all the voices of all the people or society or the past experiences or whatever get going in your mind, it's like, remind yourself of that. You know, regardless of what happens, regardless of where this goes, there's a reason why I'm on this path. There's a reason why I'm pursuing this. I just got a cold chill, like, whew. And then you have the Queen of Swords. And, you know, the Queen of Swords has lived through the entire sword cycle. And she is so much wiser because of it. She is, to some degree, a reflection of all the lessons that she has learned. And all of these things, you know, have made her so much wiser to the ways of the world. And there is a part of the Queen of Swords energy that always gives me this vibe of like, trust yourself. Trust. Like, everything is unfolding exactly the way that it's supposed to. You have already learned many lessons that are going to serve you through this journey that you're deciding to go on at this time. You have what it takes. You have every bit of knowledge. You know, it may not be, all right, here's how you do this, blah, 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 blah. But it is like, oh, you can trust this person, or you can't trust this person. Or, you know, invest like this, but also save like this. You know, there are all these things. You know so much that you don't even realize that you know. It's crazy, but it's true. When you get out there on the limb where you're putting yourself out there, you know, you will discover so much knowledge and so much that you already have, that you already know, that you are already just so prepared for this journey. Every lesson, everything has brought you to this place where you're ready. You are totally ready for this. You've got it. You are discerning. You are wise. You are not a novice. You are not brand new. You know, all those things that hurt and caused your suffering and kind of made you want to tuck tail and not go back out into the universe, not try your hand at love again, not live to the fullest extent ever again because it hurts sometimes. All of that, you will find a space of gratitude for all of that, because it will take you in a space to a place where you realize just how wise you are and just how much you learned and just how all of those lessons served you. That suddenly you knew how to navigate a space because you badly messed one up before. Or because you'll know not to trust someone because you trusted someone like that before. You'll know to trust someone because you've trusted someone like that before, or you've never met anyone like them before, and so it's time to give someone a shot like that. You will shock yourself. I'm just getting this like all over the place of just how prepared you are for this and how much knowledge you have for the journey ahead. You're totally prepared. You have everything that you need. You are already everything that you need. If you ask people that have achieved great things in life or that have this energy, I had a friend that started like, I'm pretty sure it's like $1 billion company. Now she sold it a while ago. But, you know, when you're around her and you ask, she has a specific kind of energy. Like you can recognize it. You know, you sometimes like, I literally just saw on Threads before I started this, a picture of Pedro Pascal at No King's March in California, and he's like literally wearing like a Lakers 2000 t-shirt, and he has like sunglasses on, and like you can't, like, if I walked past this guy, I don't think I would visually recognize him as Pedro Pascal. I wouldn't certainly be looking for him in that crowd, but I might energetically feel him. I might energetically know him. You know, I have photographed pretty big stars, and I didn't ever watch TV, so like I wouldn't see them and be like just awestruck like some people would be. But you can feel their energy. You can feel they have an unwavering belief in themselves. They have this high frequency energy, and you can feel it and you know it. And, you know, it's not that they don't have insecurities. They do. They definitely do. But it's like, why wouldn't it work out for me? It always works out for me. Kind of a vibe, kind of an energy. And it's a different kind of energy signature. And so it's like you might walk past them and feel it before you knew it, you know? I don't know how else to say that. I once, my husband and I went to, this is like 1,000 years ago. Actually, yeah, like a long time ago. We went to see the Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan play at the KU. It was like the University of Kansas, like basketball place. No idea why we were there, what happened that got us there. But you could feel in that space, like, first of all, Michael Jordan, like, holy crap with this guy. You could feel Derek DT is what he was a Kansas City Chief. He was a great Kansas City Chief. He actually was like in a car accident. His car flipped and he passed away, and it was very tragic. But he was sitting there with Andre Rison, like 5 seats away from us. Like all these people, all these just very high caliber athletes that even I recognized were sitting all around us. And I could feel it. I could feel the buzz of it. I could just, energetically. And that's, it feels like, Pisces, if your purpose is to tap into that energy, if your focus is on, you know, kind of getting into the flow with that, it feels like it requires right here, right now, it's close to you. And it's like, you just have to believe in it. You just have to surrender to it and believe in it and trust in yourself. And you will go places that, you know, you never probably expected to be. You will achieve things that I don't think you knew that you could or that you would, you know? That's what this feels like. Here on the bottom of the deck, you're getting the 10 of Pentacles. Like, not only is this probably some material abundance, but this is also like moments that you don't ever want to forget. Moments that you are collecting like treasures. And I love this for you. For some of you, it is just like a solid relationship, that one that you've always really wanted. You have the 4 of Pentacles here, and the 4 of Pentacles does represent a bit of like a scarcity mindset. You know, so when you're protecting yourself, you are not just protecting yourself from energy that you don't want to enter your space. You are creating an obstacle of sorts. You know, you're preventing yourself from being fully open to energy, and that kind of prevents you from being in the flow. Oh man, something is trying to come through here in this reading where I briefly touched on it, like to the best of my ability earlier, but it's really coming through right here, where it's like, life has been shitty and it has fucked you up, and it has put you through a washing machine spin cycle and a dryer tumble dry. And, you know, there's this disorienting energy around this where it's like, yeah, I've learned a lot of lessons, and yeah, I've been through a lot, and but like, I don't want to risk going through the washing machine and the dryer again. So like, I think I'll just stay over here and I just won't get dirty, so I don't have to like go through that again. And and I'm just going to kind of protect myself. I'm just going to kind of hold back, and I'm going to kind of stay safe. And this is kind of a hard thing for me to talk about, because there's a way of protecting your peace but still living life, and there's a way of protecting your peace and cutting yourself off from life. And this Four of Pentacles and this energy that it just feels like is really trying to come through in this reading is like talking about protecting our peace by cutting ourselves off from life. And I'm literally getting like, this is okay. Like, for whatever reason, this is giving me, it's okay to save your money for a rainy day, as long as you spend it on the rainy day. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, yes, there is value in pulling yourself out of potential harm's way at times. Like, we all need to recover. We all need to recuperate. We all need to whatever. But all of those lessons, everything that you went through, everything that you learned from all of that will be for naught. It will just have been a lesson that you theoretically got logical wisdom from in some respect. But when you integrate it by going back out and being the different version of yourself, the one that knows all of that stuff, you're gonna have a different experience. And that's when the true gratitude for having gone through that comes in, because now you're navigating these spaces in a different way, and now you suddenly have this knowledge that you didn't realize you had for these spaces, and it suddenly makes what you have been through worthwhile. But like, if you just protect yourself and you don't go back out there and you don't live life again and you don't integrate those lessons, then it's kind of like, well, what was the purpose of all that? Like, yeah, okay, I learned the lesson. I guess I'm gonna die knowing something more than I learned when I got here. But what is the lesson? How does it benefit me? How do I turn that into something valuable? How do I transmute it, into abundance, into something that really actually serves me, and not in a way that just teaches me to protect my peace, but teaches me that I am kind of magnificent. I mean, like, that's what it's giving me. I gotta give it to you just the way I get it, even if it sounds hokey. That's how I'm getting it. I'm giving it to you that way. And this is kind of what this is. You have the Five of Wands in reverse and the Temperance upright. This is saying, hey, don't let that shit, don't let the chaos, the drama, the conflict, the obstacles make you blocked. Heal from them, learn from them, rebalance, reground, recenter, become a better version of yourself. Make him worthwhile. Oh my gosh. Pisces. You guys have been getting this energy a lot. 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. You know that when, and the King of Pentacles. Pisces, some of you have some kind of money thing coming in. It's a big money thing coming in. This could be owning your own business. This could be an investment that pays off. This could be an inheritance. This could be, this is something, it kind of feels a little unexpected. So, like some kind of unexpected payoff, some kind of unexpected financial stability coming in here. This is really very vibey, good energy. This could even be like a favorable partnership where you could meet someone, or you could be in a relationship with someone who there is like a co-creation here, or like you come together to create something or to create some kind of wealth, or maybe you both are doing fine, but when you come together, you're more than fine. There's something here where there could be quite a significant bump in financial security and stability, and just in general wealth. And this could be ownership, like, this can even be like you buy a property and it gets like, for whatever reason, the property value just soars. It's just like it can be some kind of investment, but this kind of also feels like, I don't know, it feels like something you're not planning on, but like at the same time, it feels like you're taking active steps toward it. So, take it as it resonates. But you have the Five of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck with this gorgeous energy, the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. I mean, wow. The Five of Pentacles are the basic human fears that we all have. We all have them. Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, they all had them. It's do they define you or do they not define you? How do you cope with them? How do you rise above them? How do you manage them? How do you deal with them? Wow. Okay. Yeah, Pisces, you may have a long-term partnership, someone that can match you stride for stride coming in, where you are actually going to amass a great amount of wealth or have a very beautiful life together. You have the Knight of Cups and the Chariot under the Five of Pentacles. This is like the only thing you have to fear is fear itself. Like once you move past that, you are gold. You have, like, everything is here. So this really is a mindset or a change in perspective that where you can really go the distance here toward a lot of success, a lot of victory, and quite honestly, probably a lot of financial stability and security. With the King of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles, this is like wealth. And with the Ten of Cups, there's emotional contentment here. How many rich people do you know that are just like freaking miserable and have miserable relationships? Oh, quite a few of the wealthy people I know are like that, are divorced multiple times, are miserable in their lives, are, truthfully. And this is like, you get your cake and you get to eat it too, kind of a vibe. Like, you can see it. It's right there. You're getting some kind of help from the universe. And this is to get you out of wherever you've been. Yeah, it's getting you to take the leap of faith. My God, you're getting the Ten of Cups again. I mean, guys, your cards are just outrageous. I just don't even know. I can't even, it's like, I don't even know what to say about this, but, you have the Knight of Pentacles with the Queen of Wands, and this is a reminder, and this is something really important to remember, because as human beings, especially in this day and age, we're sort of used to instant gratification, and the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles is telling you, hey, listen, manifest with your whole heart. Say what you want, speak what you want, call it down from the ethers, and expect every minute of every day for it to show up in your hand. But know that energy moves quickly. The material world moves very slowly. So you sometimes have to keep putting one foot in front of the other and just taking a step closer and closer toward where you're going and toward what you want, and maintain this energy of just having unrelenting faith and belief that it is happening and that you are capable and that you do hold in your hand exactly what you want without really seeing it, without really knowing, without it really showing up in the material world. Know that it's coming slowly. That's how it happens, but it's coming. You have this Ten of Cups and the Fool card. I mean, dang. I do feel you have a very significant relationship coming in. The Fool card, remember, one of the most important aspects of the Fool card to me is letting the past go, releasing anything that no longer serves us. Pisces, that's your energy. So much fire sign energy, and now you're getting 2 times the card of Sagittarius. You also have a card of Aries here. This is the Hangman. I mean, what have we been talking about? Shifting our mindset. Is it just a mindset change? and what I was saying about the Fool card is the Fool card has left the past behind, has released it. They're not saying that narrative over and over again. They're not using the narrative as an excuse or a reason. They're not looking back and saying, well, the reason I don't have what I want to have is because I made this decision back then. Or they're not also getting crippled with anxiety of like, well, what happens if I take this leap of faith and nothing catches me? They're trusting, they're believing, and they're just free falling over the edge, knowing that whatever happens is what is meant to be, and is beautiful, and will be beautiful, and will be what it's meant to be, and that life is for this energy, that life is a gift, and we got to use it to its fullest. There is a coming together here of a relationship, and it feels like something that happens a little bit and a little bit and a little bit and a little bit at a time in a very solid and stable way. This isn't a relationship that you lose yourself in. This isn't a relationship where you have to fix someone, where you have to live through a bunch of heartache and hardship in order to get to the good stuff. This is a relationship where you're able to be in emotion, yes, but also keep your foot solidly on the ground. This really feels like a power couple kind of energy here that's emerging, where, this is someone who I feel like you're going to soar to great heights with. I mean, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of giving me like Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco vibes of just like, they take each other higher. Like my daughter just like sent me this song that like Selena Gomez is singing, but like Benny Blanco produced or something. It was a really good song. Anyway, it's like that. I don't know how to say it, but with the, oh my God, again, you guys, with this energy, it's just like this energy. With the 10 of Swords here, we're closing out a cycle where we were our own worst enemy, and where, this can also be where life was really mean, life was really cruel. We were backstabbed, we were deceived, we had hardship after hardship, thing after thing kept hitting us, kept bringing us down, kept making us feel like we were powerless, and that, we were sort of stuck in this position of just taking sword after sword to the back. And this cycle is complete. Now it is time, Pisces, to focus on what do you want, and to master getting what you want in life. Like, literally, that's what it is. All right, let me get you guys some message cards. If you're dealing with a water sign, you have angry. I remember everything you said. Stuck. Good intentions. I saw that and I read it as God intentions. So I don't know. Just take it as it resonates. Fantasizing. If you're dealing with a fire sign, your words speak to me like no other. Cold, hopeful, distant. I miss you more than you know. If you are dealing with an earth sign, you're getting passion, guarded. I'm sorry I triggered you. Triggered. You are the only one who truly gets me. I just got triggered people trigger people. All right. If you're dealing with an air sign, you have you are the one, nostalgic. I've been having weird dreams about us, old flames, and honest. All right, guys, this is what I have for you. I really hope it helps. I hope it brings you some peace and clarity. What an interesting reading. What a great energy. Like, I am like inspired and ready to go. So thanks, Pisces. Let's do this again tomorrow, shall we? Until then, I send you off with all my very best. Always, always, always. Bye-bye.